He has it tonight to go along with that breaking ball.
Well, it should be a lot of fun kicking off this three-game series. The back-to-back World Series champs against the Braves, who are tied for the best record in all of baseball. Let's send it upstairs to Steven and Oral. Guys, take it away.
Thank you, John, and welcome everybody to Friday Night Baseball on Sportsnet LA, brought to you by Jack in the Box. It's a happy Friday, especially for those folks who got their hands on a Miguel Rojas Game 7 home run bobblehead night as they strolled into Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium. Think about all the emotions that fans felt after that home run. How about the emotions Miguel Rojas is feeling here tonight? This was before the game just moments ago. He took a stroll out to center field by himself, knelt down, said a prayer, and got a tremendous ovation from the fans here in Los Angeles. Let's say hello from the broadcast booth. Next to the Bulldog, Ora Hershiser, I'm Steven Nelson. Kirsten Watson is going to join us in just a moment. Wherever you may be and however you may be joining us, thanks for being here, because, we got a good one. Not just a good night, but a great weekend, Atlanta in town.
Oh, this is going to be a very special night. It's going to be a special series between these two combatants. You got the best pitching staffs in baseball. Other than New York Yankees, these two teams are at the top. Then you got the offenses that are unbelievable. And Atlanta comes in here with the first loss in a series where Seattle did that to them. Well, these Dodgers, they coming off a 500 road trip, but the offense looks like it's starting to come around. So between the pitching and the offense and the fielding of these two teams, it is quite a matchup.
The Dodger lineup looking for some more consistency than they've shown the last 2.5 weeks. It's going to be hard to be consistent when you got this certain left-hander on the mound for Atlanta in Chris Sale. And he'll be starting opposite Emmett Sheehan. He's had his own roller coaster ride in 2026.
Well, we're looking at a battle of a righty and a lefty, a young guy and a veteran, and two sliders. Some of the highest percentage slider use. Number 1 is Chris Sale in all the big leagues, and number 5 in the National League is Emmett Sheehan. So it could be a battle of breaking balls and keeping the ball in the ballpark.
All right, now that we got the starting matchup under the belt, we're going to go downstairs to Kirsten Watson. A ton of Dodger updates for you, Kirsten.
Yeah, Steven, lots of news, especially on the injury front. So let's start with the positive. That's Mookie Betts. So, of course, he's been dealing with that right oblique strain. He's starting his rehab assignment today with the OKC Comets. The hope for him today is if he can get through 3 at-bats, 5 innings of defensive work. Dave Roberts has made it very clear that he could be eligible to come back by Monday. Then tough news, Tyler Glasnow. On Wednesday, he started the game, but in that second inning, right before he started it, dealt with a back spasm. He was placed on the IL today, but Dave Roberts says he's continuing to feel better, but just not ready. But the positive is that Blake Snell is returning, so he was supposed to have a rehab start tomorrow, his final one, but instead he'll be making a start with the big league team returning, his first start of the regular season, guys.
All right, Kirsten, a lot to take in as we get ready for the first pitch in the first of 3 between 2 of the 5 best teams, not just in the National League, but in all of Major League Baseball. It's the Dodgers and Braves when we come back on Sportsnet LA. Back-to-back world champion Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal with a chance to win the $75,000 prize for Jack's 75th anniversary.
Dodgers kicking off a great homestand against the Braves, and then the Giants also kicking off another stretch of 13 games in 13 days. They just completed one of these stretches before the last road trip. They went 6-7, Jerry, on that first 13-game stretch. How can they play better this time around?
Well, I think hitting with runners in scoring position and executing, especially moving guys over and getting guys in less than 2 outs, you do that, you put yourself in position to win a lot of ball games.
I don't think they care. You don't think about it as a player, 13 games in a row. You just think about playing good, because there are times when you're on a roll, you don't ever want a day off. So hopefully they can start one today.
All right, tough matchup tonight against Chris Sale, the 2024 National League Cy Young Award winner. Miggy Rowe on his bobblehead night, and the Dodgers taking the field right after this.
Back-to-back world champion Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr.'s new Western Bacon Chicken Sandwich with freshly hand-breaded all-white meat, just $5.99 for a limited time. And by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Back inside Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium, Emmett Sheehan and the Dodgers have taken the field, warming up for the first inning. It's time now for Working on a Win, presented by the Home Depot. First-year manager Walt Weiss has been winning a lot this year in Atlanta. Two first-place teams going at it, but the Dodgers lead against San Diego just one game for Atlanta. They're 8 clear of second place in the National League East.
They have played very, very well, very consistently on both sides of the baseball.
And this lineup has a lot to say about that. Drake Baldwin, the reigning Rookie of the Year in the National League, leading off behind the plate. Ozzie Albies having a terrific start to his season. He bats second at second. Matt Olson, talk about hot starts. I don't think anybody's been hotter at first. Michael Harris, the second, will clean up in center field. Mauricio Dubon, veteran utility man, batting fifth and left. Dominic Smith, the old friend, as the DH. And then the last three, Austin Riley at third. Mike Yastrzemski, the former Giant, in right field. And Jim Jarvis at short. For Emmett Sheehan, this is start number 7 in his season. And for the Dodgers starting staff, on the whole, it's been a really strong year for the rotation. But in games started specifically by either Emmett Sheehan or Roki Sasaki, the team below 500.
They are below 500, and they've gotten some run support, but these guys need to be a little bit more consistent. It's kind of like the offense has been a little bit all or nothing, and these two pitchers that you just mentioned, they've kind of been a little bit all or nothing. It can be from game to game, and it also can be from inning to inning.
All right, with that, we're set to go. The first pitch of the homestand is cut on and missed, strike one. A fastball from Sheehan at 96.
The best pitch for Emmett Sheehan is the slider. When this flips, you see the 176. The pitch he's got to get better at in the strike zone and with some command is the fastball.
Here's the 0-1. That misses inside. A bonus strike on Baldwin, who comes in tonight batting .303 on the year. 15 multi-hit games in his first 38 games. Most in the National League. Slices one toward the left field line. It is going to drop foul out of play and strike 2.
Well, this is good for Emmett Sheehan to be ahead in the count. Be able to use the slider if he wants or the changeup. But really, these are the counts that he's looking for most of the night. Get a first pitch strike, get a 2-strike count, and be able to then, if he does throw the fastball, have better location with it.
Well, the last time we saw Sheehan here at home was his best start of the year, trying to channel what he did against the Cubs here tonight against the Braves. Ahead of Baldwin, 1-2. Eats him up. Fastball at 97. The velocity has been a common conversation up and down throughout this up and down first month and change for Sheehan. His last start, the four-seamer averaged 93.4 miles per hour. Last year he averaged closer to 96. On the ground first base, but it's off of Baldwin, so that's a dead ball foul. And we'll do it again at 1-2.
Well, they think the fluctuation in velocity is coming not from health, but from mechanics. And so they have worked on that, understanding when the ball is jumping out of his hand at 96, 97, compared to when the ball is coming out a little flatter as far as velocity, right at 92, 93.
On another 1-2, Baldwin strikes out swinging. Sheehan blows it by him.
Elevated fastball doesn't need to be near the corner when you get a hitter swinging at this height. 3 balls above the waist, just a little hard to catch up to.
1 strikeout down. If the Dodgers staff can get 7 in total, you get a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow in Los Angeles after you purchase a large drink. Now the switch hitter, Ozzie Albies. First pitch hit high in the air, hooks foul. Albies hitting .322, and even better the last 18. .382 in that stretch.
This is a team you do not want to give free passes to. You don't want to give them the 4th out if all of a sudden you have an error. This is a team that will really capitalize on that.
Good breaker in there from Sheehan to jump ahead 1-2 against Albies.
This is the curveball. The slider's his best pitch, but dropping that in there will help every pitch.
Albies toward right center field. Pages hustling, and he tracks it down.
First baseman, number 28, Matt Olson.
Another tough out at the plate. Slugging Matt Olson. In his 11th big league season, 5th with Atlanta. Taking the first base torch, of course, from Freddie Freeman. Watches the ball upstairs. And because of Shohei Ohtani, even though he hasn't gotten rolling offensively, what he's done on the mound, he's still in the driver's seat for another MVP award. But Matt Olson, given his start, he's certainly in the conversation.
Well, he really is. In OPS over 1,000, where Ohtani finished last year. But Shohei is doing it both defensively and offensively, but not offensively at this level right now. So Olson trying to catch him here in the early race.
Sheehan's 1-1. This is in. He's got 13 home runs to go with 15 doubles. So 28 extra base hits, most in baseball, and 7 more than the next closest hitter. On a 2-1, Olson will pop it up. Left side of the infield for Muncy. That's a 1-2-3 first from Emmett Sheehan. Scoreless top half. Now the bottom half will get going next with Shohei Ohtani. Different look to the Dodger lineup here to start the series against Atlanta. Ohtani, Smith, and Freeman the first 3. Andy Pages will clean up in center. Teoscar Hernandez batting 5th and left. Kyle Tucker drops down to the 6th spot in right. Then Miguel Rojas on his bobblehead night gets the start at short. Max Muncy at the hot corner. And Santiago Espinal at second base. Tough lefty on the mound. One of the best of his generation, Chris Sale. Enters tonight 6-1, an ERA of 2.14.
Leads the majors in wins.
First pitch pops the mitt. Strike 1.
That was amazing first pitch. But this is the rest of the stuff, and you see the batting averages against, and it doesn't matter if you're hitting right-handed or left-handed. You're hitting below 200 off of this guy.
Ball and a strike on Ohtani. Hitting .248 after a 2-for-4 Wednesday. Doubled and walked, scored twice, snapped his longest hitless streak as a Dodger. 1-2. And in his career against Atlanta, 13 games with the Dodgers, 5 home runs. He has not homered in his career against Chris Sale, though. 2 for 8 with a double and 2 Ks.
He is still looking for his A swing, but he is fighting through it.
On a 1-2. Sale freezes him with a fastball at the bottom of the zone, a 98-mile-per-hour heater. Boy, to strike out Ohtani.
Those fastballs are electric. Crossfire action, low and away to a left-handed hitter. And he just dots 3 pitches out there. Like, that's video game right away.
Now Will Smith. Sale curves in a breaking ball for a strike. And Will Smith, another one of those Dodgers trying to get rolling offensively.
Every one of these Dodger hitters that we know their household names, they've raised the bars for themselves so high. So when they are just average big leaguers, it feels like they're in a slump.
Ball and a strike, the pitch. Wave and a miss, strike 2. And that fastball has some extra giddy up from Chris Sale to start the night. Now, to your point, Oral, the OPS plus park adjusted, 100 being league average. Right now it's 104 for Will Smith. So technically above league average, but not above Will Smith standards. The pitch. Strike 3, back-to-back Ks for Sale.
Well, and he does it with the fastball. And the Dodgers, if you read the scouting report, he throws, as far as the percentage of his arsenal, he throws the most sliders, the highest percentage, 40% of his pitches. But so far to the first two hitters, he's been lighting the fastball up.
2 outs, bases empty for Freddie Freeman. First pitch bounced to short, handled by Jarvis. That's a tidy 1-2-3, bottom of the first for Sale. Two pitchers trading 2 zeros. Back for the second next.
Don't miss Play Ball Weekend coming. That's June 5th through the 7th, encouraging youth everywhere to get out and play. You can visit playball.org to register for a free event near you today.
Michael Harris, the second, starting the second inning. Swinging at the first pitch. Pops it out of play for a strike. Emmett Sheehan in a 1-2-3 first inning threw 14 pitches, 10 of them for strikes. He also threw his hardest pitch of the season at 97 miles per hour. The fastball velocity 2 full miles per hour above where it's been previously.
Could be a little inspiration from his last first inning, where he gave up 3 runs and there were 30 pitches in that inning, and he had a clean 1-2-3 inning tonight with just 14 pitches. That does hang with you when that kind of ruins your night. And you concentrate on it in your side work, you concentrate on it when you're in the bullpen, and you really get locked in for, like, I've got to have a better first inning.
Was in his best slider there, 1-2, but the slider has really been his best pitch this year. See if he goes back to the well. He does, but misses downstairs.
Last year he was a lot more consistent, and he's looking for that consistency this year.
Harris rips a 2-strike single to lead off the second.
Looked like a changeup that was solid, but just slightly up, and it's just a good piece of hitting.
Center fielder number 14, Mauricio Dubon.
Just a little bit up. I mean, you take that, you're in your side work warming up, you take that in your warm-ups, but in the game, big league hitters can pick on it.
First hit, first base runner for either side. Now Mauricio Dubon at the plate. First season in Atlanta after 3 years and change with the Astros. Those two teams linked up for a trade in the offseason. Dubon going to the Braves and Nick Allen going to Houston. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Dubon had a torrid start to this year. Has cooled off quite a bit the last few weeks. Sheehan ahead of him 0-2. Poked in the air, right field side. Tucker drifting toward the wall. Runs out of room. Another 0-2. Slider misses, low and away.
So far the slider has the good sharp break, but it's starting at the corner or for a ball, and they're not biting. He got 3 chases on his fastball in the first inning.
Dubon hits one hard to left field, but hooks foul. No change in the count, 1-2.
It's just a fastball that is not in the right spot. I mean, the league is hitting over 400 on his fastball, and it's mistakes like that that have hurt him. that pitch will help his fastball. And you can go to 77 with the curveball. All of a sudden, your spray pattern on your fastball, because you're changing speeds from 96 down to 77, your location doesn't have to be as fine.
First curve of the plate appearance for Dubon. Another 1-2. That was a ball out of hand.
Yeah, that's the slider, and it's getting pulled down and in to lefties, and it's getting pulled over there in the left-hand batter's box to righties.
Is there something specific that leads to that miss with the slider?
For me, a little bit too much rotation in your hips and in your shoulders, too much side to side.
That one's much better.
Yeah, this one starts at the correct height. It's at the corner, and it doesn't leak that much off the plate. It's really almost the shape of a cutter, even though the computer will call it a slider.
Welcome home, Dominic Smith. Jay Serra grad grounds the first pitch fair, just inside the line, down toward the right field corner. Harris can run. He'll stop at third base as the relay makes its way to Espinal. A one-out double for Dominic Smith, who has loved his tenure in a Braves uniform so far.
Curveball, good to changing speeds because you get it pulled on the ground. Not good as far as the height, so it's able to be hit a little bit more firmly. This is where he's going to need to find that slider to help him get out of this inning.
Braves have been aggressive early against Sheehan so far tonight. 2 in scoring position, only 1 out in the second. Now Austin Riley, scuffling third baseman, watches strike 1. Fastball upstairs, check swing but no swing. The Dodgers lose the appeal. Of Sheehan's first 30 pitches, the Braves have swung at 19 of them.
Well, they were aggressive in the first, and they're continuing that here.
The 1-1 to Riley is a base hit in the left center field, and that'll open the scoring as Harris touches home plate. 1-0 Atlanta.
Not to get too deep into the weeds about mechanics, but when your sharpest pitches are balls and your flattest pitches are strikes, it can tell you that you're doing too much rotation, because to get the ball in the strike zone, then you have to kind of come underneath it a little bit and give it more elevation to keep it in the strike zone, compared to when I stay on top of it and all of a sudden I pull it. It's a ball out of hand.
Runners on the corner, still only 1 away. Mike Yastrzemski waves at the first pitch. Quickly 0-2.
Yastrzemski's scouting report has to be that he struggles with the high fastball, because here we are in a jam. He's already given up a run, and that's what they've gone with in the first 2 pitches. So you can tell hitters where you think their hole is and what you attack, or you can fool them by making them believe that. Now throw something different.
Strike 3 called. Just got a piece of the inside corner. No challenge from Yastrzemski.
If you watch Will Smith's target, he wants to back leg this pitch, and then Emmett comes underneath it and throws another one of those sliders that looks like a cutter. It just barely moves and just cement mixes right there, but he gets a strike for it. That's the best kind. You don't hit your spot, but you still get the results.
Bottom of the order, rookie Jim Jarvis, in just his second big league game, takes a strike. That last K for Sheehan, already his third in 8 Braves face, so 4 away from free jumbo jacks tomorrow for you in Los Angeles.
He had the strikeout ball working in his last outing. It was the home run ball he needed to stay away from.
Oh. Yes, he did. 0-2.
Sniper. He's got on the side of his shoe. There's no spikes there.
Nope. San Diego native in Jarvis. Family and friends in attendance here. Stays alive, fouling back a slider. Sheehan needs one more strike to get out of the second. And he's got it. Back-to-back Ks and 3 strikeouts in the second inning, but a run for the Braves. This is ready to lead off the second inning, and the Dodgers are hoping he can replicate what he did on Wednesday, his first career 3-homer game.
He was locked in early for a long time, and now he is back and locked in, and I think this is going to continue to lengthen. Had a little dry spell there for a guy who was hitting over 400, but back on track.
Got an 8-game hitting streak entering the night. First pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 1 on Sale's fastball. Dialed down to 94. It was certainly dialed up. Similar to Emmett Sheehan in the first inning, fastball velocity 2 ticks above his season average. On a 1-1. Sale misses low. I think he gave Ohtani a 98-mile-per-hour heater, averaged 97.2.
Those first few pitches to Ohtani were ridiculous.
It just not only hard, but dotted.
Just perfect.
Pages flies to center, right at Michael Harris.
Well, you can see why Chris Sale has an ERA coming into the game is to tick over 2. And you can see why righties and lefties are hitting below 200 on him.
This is a guy who's got a case for Cooperstown, given his career. Finally got that elusive Cy Young Award 2 seasons ago in 2024, won the Triple Crown that year. Misses with ball 1 to Teoscar Hernandez. The Dodgers desperately need to get him going.
The length of his career, around 15 years and over 150 wins, and he would have probably close to 200 or more if he could have stayed healthy.
There's a base hit for Teo. After a 1 for 13 trip through Houston, Texas, he starts the homestand with a 1-out base hit.
Fastball, decently located. They were probably trying to get it up either a little bit higher or a little bit more down. I don't know which one, but it was on the inside corner. Teo just made a good swing.
Tying run aboard here in the bottom of the second. 1-0 Atlanta. Kyle Tucker in the 6th hole tonight. New placement for him in the order, but this has been the money part of the order for the Dodgers. Time now for the Old Spice fresh stats. 6, 7, 8, and 9 this year for the Dodgers, and their ranks across baseball. Yep, nobody better anywhere.
Remember last year when the 9-hole was the worst and they had to figure out a way to get people on base for Ohtani?
Yeah.
Yep. This year, completely different about not just the 9 spot, but those bottom 4.
Sales 1-1. Fools Tucker totally with that slider.
There are guys that take the mound that just stand out and you go, oh, I see why he's so good. Yeah. This is one of them. I mean, there is nothing comfortable about an at-bat against Chris Sale. If he's missing his spots, you have all the deception from the delivery and the arm angle and then the velocity. And when he's got all of that, plus, oh, wow. Strike call is going to be a little slower tonight.
On a 1-2. Tucker just throws the bat at it and dumps it into the right field corner. Dino Eagles giving the green light to Teoscar Hernandez. The relay's not going to matter, and we're tied at 1. RBI double for Kyle Tucker.
What do we say about it's uncomfortable? Well, this is an uncomfortable swing. He just rescues this pitch. That is well off the plate, down below the knees, but just great extension. Teo was picking him up and putting him down, barely touches third base because your eyes are trying to pick up your coach for the decision, and then your stride has got to be in time to hit the bag. Glad you had the pizza box base.
Miguel Rojas jumps on the first pitch, and it's caught by Harris, who ran it down. The home crowd was ready to erupt on Miguel Rojas' bobblehead night, hoping he could start the evening with a hit on the very first pitch, and now he's kind of heading back to the dugout a little gingerly. I don't love that.
He's dragging that, looks like the right leg or the left leg. He slipped coming out of the batter's box. We've seen some slipperiness there. Oh, yeah. Got the special shoes on tonight. Same spike pattern he always uses, but the decorations above to commemorate the home run in the World Series.
Rojas getting some attention in the Dodger dugout. Yeah, you know Rojas doesn't want to come out of this game.
No.
New ball game here in the bottom of the second. Dodgers answer back with a run of their own. Kyle Tucker with an RBI double. He's in scoring position for Max Muncy. First pitch strike from Sale. Muncy was 1 for 3 in the Dodgers' last game Wednesday. Was his only hit in Houston. 1 for 9 against the Astros. Struck out 4 times, but he's been on base in each of his last 7. Sales 1-1. Just misses according to Chris Conroy, but ABS challenge.
Pitchers call the ball, catchers challenging.
Powered by T-Mobile. Initiated by Drake Baldwin.
What a good challenge.
Yep.
Pitch to the strike. Atlanta has 2 challenges left.
So it's 1-2. Muncy now behind. And goes fishing on a slider. So Tucker stranded on second, but that's after he tied the game. 1-1 after 2 full.
Be one of the first 40,000 fans on Mother's Day to score your exclusive clear tote bag. For more information, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Good to see Miguel Rojas back out there for the Dodgers after That second inning scare, stumbled out of the box, seemed to jam up that left hip or leg a little bit. Returns to the field for the third. The game now tied at 1. Top of the order in the top of the third for Atlanta. Baldwin, Albies, and Olsen. Misses in with the curveball, falling behind Baldwin. 3-1. Hitters count for Baldwin. Tries to get after that fastball. Can't do it. Now the count's full.
You know, when Emmett's been able to locate that fastball slightly above the strike zone, he's had some success.
Now the payoff. Fastball in a good spot.
Yep, a little better. The fastball mechanics seem to be a lot better than the slider mechanics as of right now. And one of the things you can do is trick your mind and say, I'm going to throw a four-seam fastball, but hold your slider grip. Because there's the slider right there, and that is not where he wants it. He's getting around the ball, and it's flat. And sometimes it's so flat it just doesn't even break like that one. It just acts like a little baby cutter.
This is the 8th pitch to Baldwin. Another 3-2. Another foul ball.
Will Smith is recognizing it, though, because when he throws a bad slider, he's gone to the changeup, he's gone to the curveball. Where most of Emmett's best outings this year, they default to the slider because it's the most effective pitch. But right now, the veteran catcher behind the plate's helping him.
Pitch number 9 gets him swinging. 3 consecutive Ks for Sheehan. 1 out in the third.
Number 1, Ozzie Albies.
Pull the trigger on the most effective pitch so far. Hopefully next time around the order, or the rest of this time around the order, you start to find some of the other ones.
You said trick your mind when throwing the slider. Can you do it with a pitch like the curve or even the change, given the difference in grips?
So what happens to you out there on the mound, like in my day, we would look in for the signal, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're hearing it in their hat. Well, really their ears, but coming from their hat. So what happens is sometimes your body will take on like the shape of the pitch you're about to throw. So you get a little round with your body with the slider or the curveball. You get more powerful when you see four-seam fastball up, and your body actually takes on the shape or the mechanics of that particular pitch. So when I say trick your mind, even though he hears I'm supposed to throw a slider, think four-seam fastball. And so now you can give your brain and your body a different stimulus to help fix what your body's taking the wrong clue, the wrong stimulus to, like what you're supposed to do. It's like, okay, slider, okay, this is how I'm going to do it.
Fools always with the good change. 2-2.
What's really interesting is he's really good in the middle of the plate with the changeup and the fastball, which are pitches that you kind of stay behind. And the ones that he has to come around the side of, which is mainly the slider, that's the one that's not functioning very well for him.
There's another one. He's got the good fastball going to start. Already up to 6 Ks.
Number 28, Matt Olson.
Remember when Emmett Sheehan was coming up, Worrell, Dodgers front office folks were saying his fastball might be the best pitch in the entire organization. A little upstairs on Olsen. But that did not change even after, the health issue that he had. Which is why the struggles with it have been so surprising to start 2026.
Yeah, he has 3 Ks on the 4-seamer tonight, and that's a season high. And for somebody who had the evaluation of one of the best fastballs in the organization, we know the slider has been outstanding this year. And here we are. I feel like we're being critical of a guy that's given up only 1 run, and he's an out away from finishing 3 innings against one of the best offensive teams in baseball. But that's the level of this Dodgers starting staff now.
A 3-0 bounce to second. Espinal can calmly make the play and complete a 1-2-3 third for Shield. Still tied at 1. Back-to-back world champion Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. 9-1-2 for the Dodgers in the bottom of the third, tied 1-1 against Atlanta in this series opener. Santiago Espinal getting the start against Chris Sale. Rare start for Espinal, but he knows his role on the team is to hit left-handed pitching. Doesn't matter what the back of the baseball card says for the starter. Chris Sale is a little bit different.
When your job is to hit lefties, you come up with a Kershaw or maybe a Koufax who's in the house, or you get us Chris Sale. So these guys that are like their job is to hit just left-handed starters. Sometimes you draw a short straw or a really good arm.
I haven't started in a long time. I got Chris Sale out there. Against whom I'm 0 for 7. I guess Espinal is.
Sometimes, a team, you play a team in a series, 4-game series, they have all right-handed starters, and then there's a right-handed starter in the next series, and then finally
Espinal goes down and golfs one to left field, and it hooks foul.
You finally get the left-handed starter, and it's Chris Sale. I've sat for 6 days. We had an off day, an airplane ride, and now I get Chris Sale.
Count now full for Espinal. Earlier in the plate appearance, a couple pitches ago, Drake Baldwin held it out there, and then he tapped, and then he was told by Chris Conroy it was too late. Look out, Dino.
Woo. Wow. Dino's got the hard hat on.
The cardio that Dino does every morning, that's easy work for him.
Both of our coaches might be getting to the age where they need the ear flap.
Another 3-2. Espinal pushes one foul the other way now. Battling here against Sale, trying to get on for the top of the order. His last plate appearance in Houston, struck out on 3 pitches. Espinal did. The next pitch he sees from Sale will be the 8th. And here it is. Fought away foul. Here's the 9th from Sale. And Espinal is rewarded with a shot to the gap in right center. Cut off quickly by Yastrzemski. Espinal digging for second. Here's the play. He's out.
Dave Roberts is going to wait to see if there's any possibility that he's safe, and they want to review this. But this is a young man that's trying to stay on the roster, trying to hustle, but with no out, you probably want to stay at first with the top of the order coming up.
So instead of a leadoff single, 1 out, base is empty. Second trip to the plate for Ohtani. First pitch fouled away, strike 1. In his first plate appearance, Ohtani struck out, but there's nothing he could do against this.
It's Hall of Famer against Hall of Famer, and the pitcher threw Hall of Fame pitches, and it is just dotted at a serious 98-mile-an-hour velocity.
Shattered bat right underneath the legs of Sale. May have gotten a piece, but it's fielded cleanly by Jarvis. Out number 2 recorded.
You can't assume anything, but if Espinal stays at first, that's a pretty routine double play ball, but everything changes, the butterfly effect. But you can anticipate that a ground ball was going to be tough to keep a rally going.
One in the third. Here's Will Smith. Takes a fastball inside. Smith, like Ohtani, struck out in the first, so he's 0 for 1.
When both lefties and righties are hitting below 200 against the starter and he's on his game, one of the ways you might get to him, and the only Achilles heel he has, is the long ball. But you're not going to pile up hit after hit after hit on this guy.
Back-to-back whiffs from Smith. Another fastball dialed up to 98, comfortably above the season average for Sale. 1-2.
If you're chasing the high fastball and protecting against the down and in slider, it's going to be a long night. You're going to have to lay off one of the two of them. If you're laying off both of them, you're going to have a chance.
Gets a piece of the fastball to stay alive.
Will Smith for his charity last night, a comedy night. It was a great turnout. Even people from the Braves organization went to it. It was a sellout. But this at bat is no laughing matter.
Folks, Hershiser's been on one today. I just got to tell you. Smith down swinging, and that honestly, it robs you from more Bulldog jokes. The Dodgers go down in order. You're watching back-to-back world champion Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA, and it's brought to you by Heffernan, because you're different. Under the lights in LA, the Dodgers and Braves tied at 1 as we welcome you back for the 4th. The 4th spot of the order for Atlanta. Michael Harris the second leading off. Rips back a fastball, strike 1 from Sheehan. Well, the first 3 innings for Sheehan in his fastball oral. Got 8 whiffs. The career high for him on that pitch in an outing is 10.
The fastball is really his best pitch, and he wishes he had one other maybe put away pitch, because he's thrown, now 58 pitches. He's averaging almost 19 pitches an inning. But the 6 Ks are there. It's just taking a lot of pitches to get there.
On the 0-2, Harris hits it on the ground and through into right center field. And so, just like he did in the second, Harris leads off the 4th with a base hit.
Another good piece of hitting. Change up low and away. Outstanding pitch, but just an even better swing to hit it hard enough. A 3-hopper through the hole.
Harris 2 for 2 with a pair of 2-strike singles. Dubon, this one high in the air to left field. That's going to hook left to the pole. It's the second time Dubon visited that portion of the yard in as many plate appearances. Struck out his first time up.
You need to continue to change speeds, and they are staying away from the slider right now. That's a very nice job by Will Smith. There's a slider right there, but it's still kind of just corkscrewing there in the middle of this plate. Doesn't have a sharp one tonight, and that's why Will Smith is doing such a great job of using the changeup, using the slow curveball, and the fastball, which has been most effective.
Trying to put away Dubon. Can't just yet. As a pitcher out there, do you ever think to yourself, I can pitch myself back into this with this particular offering? Or do you just trust your catcher?
Well, you work on it between innings in your warm-ups, and then you work on it in counts where you can miss with it. You don't want to work on it in a key situation. So he's got a man on first, no out. He's got an 0-2 count, and he's built it there with the slow curveball, which got him out in front, got the foul ball, and since then he's working with the fastball. This is an inning that could get away from you, right? You got a guy on and there's no out, so you're not going to try and bring along the pitch that you're trying to fix right now. If you do, you got the right count and you're going to bounce it. Let's see, there it is, and he didn't bounce it. That could have really burned him and really changed the scene of this game. This is the count if you're going to try and fix it, but you can't miss there. It's a game of hitting your spot or having good misses.
We'll try another 0-2. Strikes him out with the slider. It was elevated. Results in his 7th K.
Well, he's doing fantastic as far as getting swings and misses, mainly the fastball, but this is a hanging slider again. Back-to-back sliders that at the big league level you're playing with fire, but he's giving away jumbo jacks early.
Go to a Jack in the Box in Los Angeles tomorrow. Buy a large drink and get a free burger thanks to Emmett Sheehan. Strike one on Dom Smith. Smith doubled his first plate appearance just inside the first base bag. Nothing Freddie Freeman could do about it. Oh, 1-2 again.
Good change up there. Harris got a hit on that pitch. This is the better result of the same type of pitch from Emmett. He gets the right result this time. It just really showed how good a swing that Harris made on it. That was a good slider. He might have just found something. 0-2 and it's sharp and it goes down.
Dom Smith gonna get a deserved extra moment to try and walk that off. As impossible as that probably is. That was probably the best slider we've seen from Sheehan tonight.
Yeah, it had some depth. It had this correct axis for the spin. He can go high fastball. He can go change up low and away.
Smith with a high fly ball right to center field. Pages calls for it on the warning track. 2 away.
This is too much at the plate and too low. They're trying to go high and away. And I think even Will Smith might give a reaction of the location and then the sound of like, oh no. Yeah, he just watched it. It was, he got away with one big time.
That's a real reaction there from Emmett Sheehan. 2 out, Austin Riley the batter. First pitch laced to left field. Teoscar Hernandez turns and watches it clang off the bullpen door.
Here's the relay home. They're sending the runner, and he's out by a mile. They might want to challenge there. Harris was saying, I was safe. I avoided the tag. And they do want to challenge.
He is out by a mile, but maybe he gets a hand in there.
Atlanta's challenging the out call at home plate.
Because you're tagging the chest and the length of his arms get there. It is very, very close. And this is where the rule about not being able to block the plate really changes the game. Because you take a sure out and you have to turn it in, and you don't want to do a swipe tag. You're actually trying to tag the hand, but if they do the swim move, you're tagging the wrong hand.
Call on the field was out, so now the replay operations center in New York will try to look for conclusive evidence to overturn the call on the field. That's what Atlanta is hoping for, but another look at the relay was an aggressive send by Tommy Watkins, the third base coach. Green light for Harris trying to score from first.
His fingers are up. He hasn't touched it yet, and right about now his palm is touching it, and we can't see where the glove is for Will Smith. This might not be conclusive enough to overturn.
Lengthy review.
I think, yeah, you know, these are all timed up. Every single camera on a very finite amount of time that it is frame by frame.
Okay.
Wow.
So now you're asking, all right, did the tip of the glove get him before he got to the hip?
Yeah, it's not laces, it's the glove. This is the longest review I think we've had this year. Yeah. And you know what? They do need to get it right when it costs you a run or end of an inning. The one good thing is if they are out.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is out. Atlanta loses the challenge.
And that play goes the way of the Dodgers. 12 pitches for Sheehan, 12 strikes, and one big relay to get him out of the fourth.
Join the Dodgers on May 13th for World Champion Gold Jersey Night. The first 40,000 fans will score an exclusive gold jersey. For more information, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Still tied at 1 as Freddie Freeman climbs in for the bottom of the fourth. Fastball by him, 1-1. This is Freeman's 24th game as a Dodger against his old club. Has an active 6-game hitting streak as well as a 10-game on-base streak as he grabs another whiff of a fastball, 1-2. And the career numbers already elite with Atlanta. They've gotten only better since coming to LA. Taps one right back to Sale for the first out of the inning.
Well, the Braves decided to go with Olsen back in 2022, and then Freddie came here. It was a kind of a tearful hello and goodbye to Atlanta, but it has been good for both organizations. Olsen has blossomed, and Freddie has continued to contribute at an elite level.
Andy Pages for a second time, 0 for 1. Back-to-back 3-hit games for Pages, including that 3-home run eruption on Wednesday in Houston. First time he had 3 homers and/or 6 ribbies in a single game. Paez had just a terrible time facing Atlanta last year. Offensively, against the Braves in 6 games, he was 1 for 22. Open for a new story in 2026. The road 2. Bounce toward Olsen. Sale will cover the bag for him. 2 out. Carl's Jr. would like a word.
The Cluck, the new Western Bacon Chicken Sandwich. Only at Carl's Jr.
So Freddie retired 1-3. Andy retired 3-1. And now Teoscar Hernandez.
Teo had a nice at bat in his first at bat, and maybe we can get him going here. We're going to need to find a charge into one of these hitters to get to this guy. I think because Chris Sale is on the mound for the Braves and we're seeing how well he's throwing the ball, that it has led us to critique Emmett Sheehan's pitches a little bit more precisely, because one mistake in this game with this guy on the mound could be the difference.
If you get a mistake, you got to take advantage.
Yeah, and I would say that Sale is making fewer than Emmett, but Emmett is getting it done as far as strikeouts and getting through it with the same amount of results. The 1-1 tie.
Sale's 1-1. Good changeup gets a swing and a miss, and strike 2. Teoscar Hernandez has gone 17 straight games without a home run. Just 1 extra base hit in this stretch. 2-2. A slugging percentage of 175 in those 17 games. On a 2-2. Back foot slider. And Hernandez has to wear it.
Literally a back foot slider.
Yeah. And painfully. Yeah, it's fine. The smile's there. Oh, front.
Did you get the shin guard?
Well, whatever the limb.
It's kind of half on, half off, where the softer amount of padding is on the edge of that shin guard. It's the hardened plastic in the middle, but it's to be a little softer cotton on the edges.
Tucker couldn't check up on strike 1. Tapped it foul. The Dodgers are going to hope that 5 and 6 in the order can replicate here in the 4th what they did in the 2nd. Hernandez gone on first, and Tucker was able to score him from first with a double. And that double runs Tucker's hitting streak to 6 games now.
He hit a breaking ball well off the plate and just stayed on it with the extension of his swing.
Jam flips it into shallow left, going back. Jarvis, and he lays out to make a ridiculous play. Oh, goodness gracious. In his 2nd big league game, put a star on that for Jarvis. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Approaching the midway point of this series opener. Dodgers and Braves level at 1. First pitch of the inning is a ball on Mike Yastrzemski. 8-9-1 coming to the plate for the Braves. For Emmett Sheehan, his last 15 innings pitched, Oral, he's got 25 strikeouts.
Yeah, that's elite.
Pitch count a little bit more elevated than he probably would like, as that offering was number 73 in the game.
I love the way he's competing, though.
Yeah. 2-2.
Braves on his fastball, which we said is his best pitch tonight. They are 0 for 6 with 3 Ks. On the non-fastballs, they are 5 for 10 with 2 doubles, but also 4 Ks.
The 2-2. Yastrzemski shoots it foul.
Take a handful of outings for a starting pitcher. It's going to be probably 2 of the 5 where it's just going to flow out of your body. Not a lot of adjustments. You feel like a world-class athlete. You're hitting your spots. You're doing well.
Another 2-2. Another foul ball.
The other 3, one you're probably kind of bad and you're just searching for it the whole night, and the other 2 are just you're just kind of wavering through it. You're wiggling. You're good. You're bad. You're making adjustments, and that's what I feel like this one tonight is. But he's getting really good results with his competitiveness and fighting.
Yastrzemski to straightaway center field, pushing Pages back in front of the wall. He's got room.
We've seen a few of those, right? We've seen some home run distance but foul. We've seen some hard ground balls that have found their way through. But we've also seen him find ways to get key strikeouts and key outs. And a nice relay from the left field to cut down a run at the plate.
First out of the 5th. Here's Jim Jarvis. We just saw him make a jaw-dropping catch to end the bottom of the 4th, robbing Kyle Tucker of a blue base hit. Takes a strike from Sheehan. Now to look at that play. This ball had a 72% hit probability. And there's a base hit, a bullet up the middle for Jarvis. That's his first big league hit. So he makes a highlight play to end the last half inning, comes up to the plate and rips his first knock in the majors. What a few moments for Jim Jarvis. You can hear his cheering section here in attendance.
That'll go to the authenticator and then be in his trophy case or his parents.
No matter the jersey, you can appreciate how special that moment is for Jarvis, who started at Claremont High in San Diego. That's a school that's produced some big leaguers now.
Freddie down there patting him on the back, congratulating him.
Another Claremont alum, Kevin Mitchell, 1989 MVP for San Francisco. Ken Henderson, Tony Muser, and then a catcher who's drafted 24th overall in 1979 out of Claremont by the name of Bob Guerin. Here's Bobby G. So Jarvis aboard. Now Sheehan going to try and strand him or just wipe him off the bases. Falling behind Baldwin, 2-0. Now 3 balls and no strikes. Mark Pryor on the horn. Alex Vesia up and loosening in the Dodger bullpen. 3-0. There's a strike for Sheehan.
You got left at the plate. You got Switch on deck. You got left and Matt Olson batting third in the hole. That's why Vesey is up.
And then another left and Michael Harris.
High for the year for Emmett is 101. He's really averaged right around 90.
The 3-1. Good curve fills the count. Here comes the payoff. Runner goes inside, ball 4.
Might get a visit from Mark Pryor just to make sure Vesia has enough time, and yep, that's what we're going to get.
First walk of the night for Sheehan. He's been able to harness that command and control of late.
You know, when they've set the table a little bit or they've gotten some ground balls through the holes, and he's done a nice job of getting back into counts and putting guys away. But you can only dance around traffic so long, and so Dave Roberts and Mark Pryor are getting a little help ready.
Well, when people think of high leverage, they think of the late innings, but especially in a game like this, when you have pitching like this, this could be the highest leverage spot you see. First and second, one out in the top of the 5th, the most dangerous part of the opposing order coming to bat. Ozzie Albies is 0 for 2 with a strikeout so far. Curve catches the outside corner.
We've seen the curve a lot more. We've seen the changeup a lot more. This is the second lowest percentage of sliders that he has thrown this year. So we know his best pitch has not been on its game, but he's getting the job done.
Down, up, and in, 1-1.
It really wasn't that far up and in. Albies made that seem like it was, just the way he's leaning in like that, and just keeps everything in there. You notice he's got the arm guard on his front arm, so he's used to having the tower buzzed up there.
Ball and a strike. Here's Sheehan. Albies with a slow roller to second. Espinal to Rojas. Here's the turn. Can't get 2.
The ball's hit hard enough, but it's the length of the throw to start the pivot that's the time that it took too long to turn 2 on that one.
And here comes Dave Roberts. Sheehan at 88 pitches, 2 outs in the top of the 5th, game tied at 1. They're going to bring in Alex Vesia to try and get Matt Olson. So the line for now for Emmett Sheehan as he exits after 88 pitches, 4 2/3, 6 hits, a walk, 7 Ks. And now the Dodgers call to the bullpen, brought to you by Jacoby and Myers. Alex Vesia, he has been as reliable and dependable as they come.
He really has. He's only given up 1 earned run in his first 15 appearances. He had 2 scoreless outings on the road trip. And he is getting it done with all 3 pitches, the fastball, the slider, and the changeup.
Fastball gets a swing and a miss from Matt Olson.
If you believe in only velocity, then you wouldn't believe in Alex Vesia, because he's around 90 to 92 now, where he used to be above 95, but he locates really well.
2 on, 2 out, tied at 1. This is away with the heater, and that levels the count. Olson was 0 for 2 against Sheehan, a pop out and a ground out. Check swing, no swing, and no challenge from Will Smith. 2-1.
It's a great pitch and a great take.
Olsen entered this series hitting .330 against right-handed pitching, .259 against southpaws. The Dodgers leaning on those splits to bring in Vesia. Sheehan watching anxiously. Here's the 2-1. Popped up. That'll drift back. Strike 2 and a square count.
And that's Emmett's. Those are his ducks on the pond out there. And also, if one happens to score, you've got a possible hook in your mouth for an L.
The 2-2. Fly to left. Routine for Teoscar. He makes the catch. And Vesia does the job, stranding a pair. Game still tied at 1. Performance Spotlight is turned on. It's sponsored by your Southern California Nissan dealers, and it's all on Miguel Rojas. His Game 7 home run bobblehead night. And Miguel Rojas and his family here to make it extra special. Ceremonial first pitch thrown out by his son Aaron. On our Amber here, of course, his wife Mariana. And Rojas, ever since hitting that legendary homer, has said, I am going to milk this for everything it's worth. I'm going to soak this in because I waited my whole life for a moment like that. He leads off the bottom of the 5th, and he grounds it to Jarvis. Fields it cleanly at the back edge of the dirt, but the throw is wide into the dugout. So an errant start to the inning for the Atlanta defense. Rojas is aboard.
Jarvis ended the last inning with an amazing play on a pop-up. You said it was about a 75% chance to be a hit. He laid out like an NFL receiver. So that one, a little bit of an overthrow. Not like an NFL quarterback. No.
And because it went into the camera wall next to the Atlanta dugout, it's an extra base for Rojas in scoring position. Nobody out. Dodgers looking to cash in. Muncy swings through a strike.
It's an interesting scenario for Chris Sale because he wants the ball hit to the left side of the diamond, but the Muncy defense is shifted to the right side of the diamond.
Another swing and a miss. This time on a change. It's 0-2.
Max attacking, trying to start maybe a little early to make sure he pulls it to get Miggy moved over to third.
Muncy with 9 home runs, 13 ribbies. Got a chance for a rare non-homer stake here. But he's down swinging at 3 pitches.
And when you go off speed in that situation and you know the hitter is going to pull it because you are pulling the string on him, you want to make sure it's a swing and miss pitch. And with the 0-2 count, he goes well wide and gets the swing.
Santiago Espinal 1 for 1 against Sale. Grounds a strike foul. He was thrown out trying to stretch that single into a double, leading off the 3rd inning. The top of the order on deck. You highlighted, given the situation and his place in the order, probably not the smartest move for Espinal, who's fighting to keep his spot on the roster with Mookie Betts' return on the horizon. And that base hit came on the 9th pitch that he saw from Sale. His first hit on a 9th pitch or later of an AB since 2024. It's been a minute since he had to battle for a knock like that. On a 1-1. Sale misses low and away. 2-1 now. Catches the inner third. Oh. Or perhaps didn't at all. But no challenge from Espinal. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now the count's full. 1-1 the score. 1 on, 1 out in the 5th. Sales pay off. It's good foul.
The little things, when you play this 1-1 game against a great team like the Braves, and the Dodgers are a great team, and they get a nice effort from Emachine and Vesia, it's the edges. It's Max Muncy not moving Miggy over. Espinal getting thrown out at second with the top of the order coming up. We're looking to capitalize on these chances. Emmett did a nice job avoiding the traffic and keeping it at 1-1. Vesia did a nice job getting their biggest and best hitter out that's in the MVP race this early in the season. It's going to come down to probably one thing.
The 8th pitch from Sale. Jammed him. Foul territory, first base side. Olsen slides and made the grab.
It was an interesting attempt and capture. Oh, the ball is curving on him. It's got a tremendous amount of spin. He's worried about going into the dugout. He slides.
Ronald Acuna Jr.'s reaction came before Ben May, the first base umpire. Once again, Rojas can't move off second. Now 2 outs in the 5th. The inning up to Shohei Ohtani to continue. First pitch, ground ball, base hit into right field. Rojas rounds third. He slides in safely. The Dodgers have hopped in front.
So strong. His ground balls don't need to be as precise as others because he is so strong and can get them through the hole, and we've seen this so much. This is a rollover ground ball for a normal hitter, but his 4 hoppers have velocity.
RBI number 16 for Ohtani. 2-1 Dodgers in the 5th. Now Will Smith takes a strike.
Ohtani finally got to one of those fastballs. The first at bat, he was dotting them and putting them away. That one a little bit more middle of the plate. He won that battle.
Now Smith to left, sinking fast, but it's caught by Dubon charging in. The Dodgers make that error hurt Atlanta. A 2-1 lead going to the 6th. Got a flashback to the 4th inning where this play, you knew it was big, and it's even more magnified now that the Dodgers have a 2-1 lead.
Well, when there's 2 outs and you got a close game like this from 2 really good combatants, yeah, you push the envelope as the third base coach. It comes down to the fingers were over home plate, but they weren't down on home plate.
Hernandez to Rojas to Smith. Tag applied just in time. The Braves challenged but couldn't overturn it. Harris is leading off the 6th inning against the new Dodger pitcher. That's the righty Kyle Hurt. What have been your impressions of Kyle Hurt his first 9 games? 9 innings, 13 strikeouts.
Yeah, and he is not scared. He's been attacking people, and he's got the outstanding fastball and changeup.
High chopper over Muncy's head. Barehanded by Rojas. No chance. Despite the terrific effort to field it. And an infield single for Harris.
We watched Miggy slip out of the batter's box earlier and kind of walk back to the dugout with a limp. This gives you confidence that the legs are okay.
They were put to the test in the bottom of the 5th trying to score from second on Ohtani's base hit. He was chugging. So Harris now 3 for 3 on starting inning ahead of Dubon. Ball 1 called, an ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile coming from Will Smith.
Previous pitchers call the ball, catcher's challenging.
Will Smith has been the best catcher in the league at this, and he stays red hot with the challenges.
Strike, Los Angeles has 2 challenges left.
25th successful challenge from Smith, the most among any backstop. Oh, 0-2. Hurt trying to work around a leadoff hit. The first hit he's allowed in any fashion since the 25th of April. Now the 2-strike pitch flipped into center field. Back-to-back knocks for Atlanta. Tying run in scoring position.
This has been a good game, and there's a lot left of it.
Designated hitter Dominic Smith.
Got to pitch around some traffic now.
Dom Smith has had some good swings tonight. 1 hit to show for it. It was a double in the 2nd. A high and deep fly out to center field in the 4th. First pitch rolled up the middle. Rojas steps on the bag. The throw to first. Not in time. And now Rojas limping around. It was a hard slide in there from Dubon.
And there was a little bit of contact all below the knee, so it's legal there around second.
Oh, he is
right at the knee with the elbow. Elbow to kneecap.
I didn't know bobblehead nights were this painful.
Third base, Austin Riley.
So Braves on the corners, 1 out in the 6th, 2-1 Dodgers. And Austin Riley, who's 2 for 2. Aaron Rojas wanted the headsets. They challenged that. They did not. Ball and a strike.
Kyle Hurt's got that nice riding fastball. That one at 96 just maintains its altitude and fools hitters.
High in the air. Shallow right field. Espinal going back. Tucker coming in. Tucker makes the catch and throws home, and they're going to hold Harris at third.
Right fielder Mike Yastrzemski.
The Dodgers didn't move Miggy Rojas off a second until there were 2 outs. Now the Dodgers trying to return the favor, but on the defensive side by stranding the runner at third.
Strike fouled back from Yastrzemski. Former Giant 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He was traded away from San Francisco ahead of last year's deadline to the Kansas City Royals. Strong finish there in KC. Now with Atlanta. Hurts 0-1. Misses in. One and 2. Home crowd trying to meet the moment for Hurt in the 6th. 2 on, 2 out, 2-1 Dodgers. The 1-2 pitch to Yastrzemski. Up and away.
Two batters to get 1 out. I view this situation this late in the game and 2-1 playing the Braves as there's a base open.
On a 2-2, Yastrzemski slices it foul, and we'll do it again.
And if there's a hitter or two that you want up there and you're the Dodgers, it's where they are in the order. Behind Yastrzemski, you've got a kid who just got his first big league hit, made the error that put the Dodgers on top.
Another 2-2. That's going to hook foul.
In my mind, the 9-hitter Jarvis is, if he gets to the plate with bases loaded 2 out, he's going to be in swing mode to try and make up for his error. So he could end up being the easier out of these two. So make your best pitches right here to Yastrzemski.
Yastrzemski had to get the bat ready to go. Kyle Hurt ready as well. Down and in, full count.
Make a pitch like it's 0-2, not 3-2. You got the runner at first going. You give up a double, you might give up 2 runs. Attack the corners.
Hurt's 8th pitch. He's going to need at least 9. Count still full. Here's another 3-2. He struck him out. High fastball blown by him. The strand a pair and keep the Dodgers ahead.
Welcome back. So for a quick check-in with guys who are working their way back from injury, Mookie Betts went 1 for 3 tonight, started his rehab assignment with the OKC Comets. He is expected to be returning to the big league team on Monday. Then you have Kike Hernandez. Still a little bit more time for him, but Dave Roberts, as well as Kike, has said that once he is eligible, which is around late May, around like May 24th, 25th, they're hoping he could be back then, guys.
Thank you, Kirsten. The Dodgers hoping to get lots of reinforcements this month. Freeman charges up left to center field. Harris going back. He looks up, and Freddie Freeman goes deep. That home run drought is over. After 25 games without one, Freddie Freeman has number 100 in Dodger blue. First home run since April 6th in Toronto. One of Freeman's homes with his ties to Ontario, now back home in Southern California against his old home in Atlanta.
The third hit on a fastball off a Sale from the Dodgers. They are 3 for 10 against that. But what's interesting is a pattern had developed. Sale had been throwing over 70% strikes with his fastball, and the Dodgers started to recognize that. Ohtani picked on a fastball. Freddie picked on a fastball. They can start a little earlier, even if they're embarrassed on the breaking ball, they're going to be on time with the fastball and barrel them up, and that's how they've gotten their 2 runs. You want to throw a lot of strikes, but when you get to a point where you've established that the fastball is over 70% of the time a strike, guys will start cheating on you, and I think Ohtani and Freddie got it done.
Pages high in the air to left field, didn't get it. First out of the 6th. So the Dodgers leading 3-1. 3 runs against Chris Sale, as many tonight as he had allowed in his previous 4 starts combined. In the air off the batter, Hernandez down the right field line. Olsen going back. Can't haul it in. It's a tough play to make.
If he'd have caught that one, he'd have had some adventures in foul ground tonight.
Had a catch earlier. And foul ground right in front of his own dugout as Espinal popped out. On a 1-1. Hernandez can't check his swing on a slider. Strike 2.
It feels like we're being rewarded with.
Teo thought he wanted to challenge it, and he was told it was too late to do that. So he's asking, was that a strike on the swing or on the location?
I understand why Teo would be a little frustrated right there. Because it was within 2-3 seconds after he got the information on what the strike call was.
It's the second time tonight we've seen a quick count from Conroy. Earlier, Drake Baldwin, the catcher, wanted a challenge, but was told he had missed his allotted time.
Yeah, maybe he called it on a swing, and that's why he didn't allow it.
Well, that's why you saw Hernandez when he took time to ask, did you call it on the swing? That's what it looked like, trying to read his lips.
Yeah, but so if the umpire says, yes, I called it on the swing, then he's frustrated that he called it on a swing.
Either way,
there's frustration.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
he called it on the swing.
But normally you see the signal from the ump, like, yes, he did.
Yes, for sure.
Anyway, 2 balls, 2 strikes, now full.
But I think we've been rewarded with a playoff baseball game here in May. This has been a really fun game.
It's been a few years since these 2 teams have done battle in the postseason. Braves came to Los Angeles for this weekend series, tied for the best record in the bigs.
Dodgers with the 5th best record.
Called ball 4. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile.
Call the ball, catches challenging.
Drake Baldwin, he is 1 for 1 in allowed challenges tonight. And now he's 2 for 2.
Pitch the strike, batter's out. Atlanta has 2 challenges.
It is amazing, these ones that graze the strike zone or just miss the strike zone. I think it's almost impossible for the human eye. And if you look at the ABS results, those borderline pitches are all like 50-50. Either the player gets it right or the umpire gets it right, and it is right near 50%.
2 outs, bases empty. Slider low to Kyle Tucker. Tucker 1 for 2 with an RBI double. Now a 6-game hitting streak. 1-2. That double, it came on a pitch that wasn't particularly bad from Sale. In fact, it seemed like Tucker was fooled, but he was able to get Wood on it and flip it into the right field corner. He'll take it. It was his first career hit against the left-hander. 2-2. Strike three swinging. Back-to-back Ks to get Sale out of the 6th, but it started with a bang. Freddie Freeman's 100th home run as a Dodger. Makes it 3-1 LA going to the 7th. World Champion Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. Dodgers having a good time here on this Friday night. 3-1 is the lead against Atlanta. Still plenty of ball game left. Will Klein comes out of the bullpen for his 11th appearance of the season.
A fireballer with a good breaking ball. He got a chance to make a huge impact on this bullpen. He made one last year, of course, we know, in the playoffs and the World Series.
Last of the order for the Braves, Jim Jarvis, the rookie, in his 2nd career game. That play to take a hit away from Kyle Tucker. Then the very next half inning, his first major league hit. Did make an error afterwards that led to the Dodgers' 2nd run. So it's been an action-packed and emotional evening for him.
First hit, first error, first great catch. He'd like to make up for some of it, a portion of that right here.
And for Will Klein, this is somebody you want to go after, or at least make him earn his way aboard. The top of the order on deck in a 2-run game. Swatted to left field. Hernandez drifts back, one away.
That's a big out because the top 3 guys in the order for the Braves. Baldwin's got 9 home runs. Albies has got 8 home runs, and Olsen has got 13. So they start with some early power, and we want that tying run to still be in the on-deck circle.
Ball 1 to Baldwin. 0 for 2 with a walk.
Sounds like you would have challenged that one.
No, it looked like Will Smith, his body language, he was thinking about it.
Ooh. I would want to maybe challenge that one.
That's you pitchers. I think the worst batting average in baseball this year coming from the pitchers on challenges.
Yep. I was told that the ball was high.
So you're down to 1 challenge, Hershiser. Ball 3. Back-to-back 3-ball counts to start the 7th for Klein.
Up here, I have as many as I want.
That's fair. 3-0. That's a 4-pitch walk, and it'll bring the tying run to the plate. Having a conversation with himself out there, Oro, which you can empathize with. What are you doing? It's what he appeared to ask himself.
Pretty much, yep. You do have a lot of conversations with yourself out there. A lot of times you don't do it for TV, though.
No.
Just inside your own head.
1 out in the 7th. 3-1 Dodgers. Strike 1 to Albies. Second baseman is 0 for 3 in this one. Has dropped his average from .322 starting the night to .315. Lays off a curve in the dirt. Smith quick to get out there and hold Baldwin on first base. Now Albies is an interesting case study because his numbers on the year, they look terrific. Right? Batting average above 300, OPS above 900, 8 homers, 23 RBIs. 0-1 pitch, fouled away, strike 2. But the underlying metrics don't jump off the page. Not a ton of hard hits. He chases a ton, but he's a guy who can get to bad balls and hit bad pitches out of the zone.
Yeah, I feel like when you're pitching to somebody like this, he feels dangerous no matter what his stats say.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Klein in front. Got him. There's some of that chase.
Yeah, the intimidation factor starts with him with the awkward batting stance, and then as he curls and lifts his leg and kind of crowds the plate. So you just feel like, yeah, bad ball hitter, and he can hit almost anything, but really hard to hit a bouncing curveball.
Klein not out of the woods yet. Power meets power. Here's Matt Olson. Strike 1 on a 98-mile-per-hour heater.
This Braves offense started fast. They were 1 for 1 with runner in scoring position. Olson's in scoring position when he steps in the batter's box. Since then, they are 0 for 7 when there's somebody in scoring position.
The 0-1. Tails up and away. Dodger bullpen has been on some kind of roll. What a performance in the series finale against Houston. 8 strong there. Going to work here in game 1 against Atlanta. Vesia hurt, and now Klein. The 2-1. Down the pipe, strike 2.
First job is to keep him in the ballpark. Second job is to get him out.
Bounced a curve, and now the count is full. Klein's main pitch, a power fastball, facing a slugger who is feasting on fastballs. The payoff. Slash foul. Dialed it up to 99. Just challenging him.
Strength against strength right there. Attacking his best with your best.
On the ground, right side, backhanded by Espinal, throws across his body, got him. A 0 for Klein, still 3-1. It's time to stand and stretch. It's the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Sit and Sleep.
Be one of the first 40,000 fans on May 11th and receive a 2025 World Champion Trophy replica presented by Budweiser. Visit Dodgers.com/promotion for more information.
Dodgers 3, Atlanta 1. Bottom of the 7th. Here's Miguel Rojas. Strike 1 from Chris Sale. Rojas 0 for 2, but reached on an error and scored. Tonight, Dodger fans are celebrating his Game 7 home run bobblehead. Chop strike 2 foul. He has been hobbled really since the second inning. Came up to the plate, hit a line drive to right center field, stumbled out of the box, appeared to jam up his left hip or leg. Then he took a Dubon elbow to his knee on a play at second base. So it's been a tougher night for Rojas than he probably was envisioning. Sales 0-2. Sales up high. And it's a home run that will replay in the hearts and minds of Dodger fans forever. Grounds it back to Sale, first out of the 7th inning. It was a moment that he was dreaming of, Oral, but one that he truly didn't see coming. But someone in the Rojas household did, and that's his wife, Mariana. After the Dodgers swept the Brewers in Game 4 of the NLCS, Rojas was down in the dumps. And you see Rojas rounding the bases after that home run. He was not signaling to his dugout. He was signaling to Mariana. Strike 1 to Max Muncy. After the Dodgers won the pennant, Rojas was a little down on himself. And they won a pennant. They're going to the World Series, but he felt like he hadn't contributed to that. And Mariana told him, hey, your moment's coming. Don't worry, your moment's coming. Jump ahead to the World Series. Rojas makes an appearance in Game 3. They lose Game 5. They're now down in the series, hitting the road to Toronto. Muncy slashes a line drive to left field, spinning around Dubon, who makes the catch for out number 2 of the 7th. And after Game 5, Mariana once again saw Rojas a little bit down and said, don't worry, you're going to hit a big home run. You're going to hit a big home run. The next text message that Rojas got was from Dave Roberts. Said, I need you tomorrow. You're in the lineup for Game 6. So jump ahead to the 9th inning, Game 7. The Dodgers down to their last 2 outs and down a run. And it's Miguel Rojas who hits a home run. He's rounding the bases. And he's saying, holy, you know what? Mariana was right. She called it. And so he tried to find her in the crowd. Eventually, he did find her on the field after the Dodgers had won the World Series.
That's amazing. I remember after Game 5, he was the last one to go back to the locker room, and the cameras caught him just staring out at the field, leaning against the railing, thinking, what he told us later, is this going to be my last game at home in a Dodger uniform?
Espinal flies it to right field, and that will finish the 7th inning. The Dodgers still lead by 2 going to the last 2 innings. Back-to-back world champion Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal with a chance to win the $75,000 prize for Jack's 75th anniversary. Will Klein still out there for the Dodgers, top of the 8th, leading Atlanta 3-1. 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Braves. Harris scalds one to right field. Michael Harris, the second, is 4 for 4. Tucker quickly over and nicely done to hold Harris to a single.
Now that was really well done. For him to know from the very first step that he has to give ground to create the angle so that he can get this before it goes to the fence and hold him to a single. He knew right away how hard it was hit and that he needed to angle back, and that gave him enough room to capture this and keep the double play in order.
And that's going to be all for Will Klein. For Mauricio Dubon can see a pitch. Will Klein seems a little stunned to see Dave Roberts coming out from the dugout. Pitching change for the Dodgers. Tying run coming to the plate for Atlanta. Brock Stewart will take the hill next. did seem like Will Klein was a little surprised that Dave Roberts came out after Harris's leadoff base hit, so Doc made sure to go down and visit with him in the dugout after the pitching change.
There's a few different reasons that could be going on. It's not matchup based because both of them have given up a hit to the gentleman at the plate, and it's both 1-for-1. But I think it could also be that I want to give Brock Stewart, who I know I'm going to have to use in this game, a little bit more rope. And so, man on first, I don't want to wait till it's first and second or bases loaded or something where it's a little deeper.
Tying run at the plate here in the top of the 8th. 3-1 Dodgers. Dubon, the number 5 hitter. There's some power due up. Smith on deck, and then Riley in the hole. Big swing, big miss. A ball and a strike against Dubon.
Start him off with a slider and then goes with the high fastball. See what he's got now.
Popped up. Shallow center. Espinal will give way to Pages. 1 out, and you see Ha-Seong Kim is now in the game. Miguel Rojas is out.
Well, you get more range, you get a stronger arm. It's been a big night for Miguel with the celebration and the bobblehead, but also the workload on the field.
Fastball upstairs against Smith. Jay Sarah Grad is 1 for 3. Doubled his first trip up there. The 2-0. Miss again. There's a strike. Smith was a statue the whole way. Three balls and a strike. Here comes Stewart. Ball 4, and the tying runs aboard.
Third baseman,
no action in the pen. 3 batter minimum will be visited right here in this at bat. It's looking like it's Brock Stewart's inning.
Runner at first base is number 2, Jorge Mateo.
Austin Riley will be the batter. Potential go-ahead run up there for Atlanta. Pinch runner now on first, taking over for Smith, Jorge Mateo. Ball 1 to Riley. Strike 1 fouled away. Riley 2 for 3 tonight. He has been slow out the gates though overall in 2026, but this is a guy, Earl, that the Dodgers know. This is a perennial 30 and 90 kind of talent. Ball 2. Back-to-back All-Star appearances in 2022 and 23. A 3-year stretch where he hit 33 home runs, 38 home runs, 37 home runs. Dangerous hitter. A 2-1 is on the way. Even count. Tanner Scott just got up in the left field pen.
You got Yastrzemski and Jarvis, 8 and 9 hitters, both left-handed. Brock Stewart is Austin Riley away from them.
Sweeper not close. That fills the count. In danger of filling the bases.
Yeah, as far as counts, he has pitched uphill. He has not thrown a first pitch strike to any of the 3 batters he's faced.
The 3-2 to Riley. Got him.
Elevated fastball. Well done. Will Smith points his glove at him like, nice job. But he hit the spot.
Fielder number 18, Mike Yastrzemski.
Two on, 2 out. The Dodgers up by 2. Strike 1 to Mike Yastrzemski. Change in the dirt, 1-1. Yastrzemski hitless so far tonight. He has struck out twice. Once against Emmett Sheehan, and then the next time struck out against Kyle Hurt with a couple of his teammates aboard. Same spot in the 8th. Wales had a changeup, strike 2. Ground ball right side, backhanded by Freeman. The toss to Stewart. Inning over. Atlanta's 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They've stranded 10 in 8 innings. 3-1 LA. Coming up next, it's Access Sportsnet Dodgers presented by Mercury Insurance. John Hartung, Jerry Harrison Jr., Nomar Garcia-Parra, and Miguel Rojas' bobblehead. We'll have highlights, post-game interviews, and breakdowns. That's on the way in Club Ravine. Bottom of the 8th, Aaron Bummer, the lefty, will come on to face the top of the Dodger order, starting with Shohei Ohtani. First pitch hammered to right field, but drifting over his yells. One pitch went out for Bummer in the inning. I think hammered was an aggressive description on my part. Yeah, no, it's okay. Go ahead. Oral, green light, partner.
No. We're up 3-1. This is a really good game. We're not going to ruin it. It was like you were hitting a tack with a hammer.
Yes.
Just a soft. They didn't want to bend the top of it.
Light hammer. Ball one to Will Smith.
There is a good thing that's happened here tonight for the Dodgers. It was the left-handed hitters that have gotten it done so far. They have all the RBIs.
Skied to center. So safely describing it that way. 2 out.
Freddie's home run is one of those RBIs. Shohei got one and Tucker got one.
Lefties came into the game hitting 184 off a sail. The Dodger left-handed hitters got all of their production tonight. They did a very nice job.
It was the first left-on-left home run allowed by Sale since last May. Nearly a full calendar year. Now facing a different lefty in Bummer, taking ball 1. Broke a long home run drought for Freeman as well. 25 games without one. Saved his 100th as a Dodger for his first game against Atlanta this year. 12 of his 17 big league seasons spent in Braves country. Freeman still have a home there. 2-1. You look at the all-time leaders for Atlanta. Freddie Freeman's name is littered everywhere. Bummer's 2-1. Bounce foul, strike 2. And with his Cooperstown case, it's created a little bit of a question. The last 2 years, back-to-back World Championships, 2 walk-off home runs in the World Series. Some legendary, iconic moments as a Dodger. Full count now. A dozen years against Atlanta. 2 rings, 2 major moments as a Dodger. Whose cap does he wear? And I believe, given his nature, I think he goes in without a logo. Playable left to center for Harris. And that ends the 8th inning. No change in the score. 3-1 Dodgers. Here comes Tanner Scott. Coming up tomorrow, Blake Snell makes his return to the Dodger rotation and makes his season debut opposite Spencer Strider.
Well, it's not a real soft landing for Blake Snell. You think about going against the Braves, but it is at home, and he is ready to go, and it'll be an emotional night also because it's his bobblehead night.
Ah, that's right.
And this is not a new thing for rehab to, like, we'll bring you back on your bobblehead. It just happened to work out that way.
18th appearance for Scott. First 15 in the 3rd innings this year. 15 strikeouts, 2 walks, couple of homers. Pinch hitter at the plate for Atlanta, it's Kyle Farmer. Strike 1 from Scott.
Tanner Scott has been very good this year. All but one outing really has been a tough one, you know, against the Cubs. A couple of Ernies. But other than that, the other 16 appearances, a .61 ERA.
Dodgers up by 2. Atlanta down to their last 3 outs. Make it last 2 outs. Okay to start the 9th for Scott.
You know, one of his biggest challenges last year was getting a 3rd strike, and gave up a lot of 2-strike hits. This year, hitters are hitting about 100 off of him with 2 strikes.
Lineup turns over for Atlanta. Strike 1 fouled away by Baldwin. He struck out his first 2 plate appearances and then walked his last 2. Oh, 0-2. Down at Petco Park tonight, the Padres got shut out by the Cardinals 6-0. Line to Muncy. 2 gone.
That is where the data has really hurt offense. That was a good piece of hitting. And they're just standing right there.
One more out to go. Ozzie Albies, a switch hitter, flips over to the right side. Lays off a low slider. Ball and a strike. Shattered bat. Foul ball. Talked earlier about Albies being a good bad ball hitter.
Well, created some kindling right there.
Fans on their feet here at Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium. Popped him up. Foul ground, first base side. Freddie Freeman is there, and that's a win for LA. They take the opener from the best record in baseball. 3-1 the final.
Looks like they're going to gain some ground in the National League West. Yes, it's way early, but it's nice to come home after a 500 road trip and mix in the first W.
Now a chance to clinch the series tomorrow, welcoming Blake Snell to the 2026 season on Blake Snell bobblehead night. Access Sportsnet Dodgers is standing by to break this one down. So on behalf of the Bulldog, Laurel Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, and our terrific crew, Mike Leader producing, Ben Dillenberger directing. I'm Stephen Elson. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you Saturday here at Blue Heaven.